Well, we want to alert you to an update tonight about a story we first brought you yesterday. Some residents in Council Bluffs concerned about fires they say are happening frequently near their homes.
Our Andrew Pfeiffer is live in the newsroom with the latest in this First Alert 6 investigation. Andrew.
Jacqueline and Brian, we now know some information given to us by the Council Bluffs Fire Department. It was incorrect, and the owner of the property where these fires were happening is Chicago Central Pacific Railroads. It's owned by CN Rail. We are waiting for a statement from them. In the meantime, we've also been asking the state about these fires. They're happening near 15th Street and O Avenue. DNR regulations do prohibit railroad tie fires in Iowa, but a track safety inspector with the state DOT says because it is private property, they cannot take action. The location is near a homeless shelter. The state believes this could be a factor. They say they would be willing to work with the railroad to put up better fencing to prevent these fires. Again, these concerns were brought to us by a viewer. I talked to a neighbor yesterday who tells me they are concerned not only about the embers landing on their house, but also their health, since the smoke could contain hazardous chemicals. I'll be sure to follow this and have more details as they develop. Jacqueline, Brian.